welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anne and this is All the Budgeting. On this channel, I do paycheck cash stuffings, side hustle cash stuffings, cash condensings, budget with me's, and then I always close out my budget every month, which includes a net worth calculation. So if that is interesting to you, I do hope that you stick around, subscribe, like, comment, share, all the things. And as I've mentioned the last couple of videos, I am now on TikTok and I have a Facebook page. I've been on Instagram for a while, so I have all of my social media accounts linked in the description below. So, would love to connect with you on other platforms. Okay, so today's video, I'm doing a budget with me of my second paycheck for April. And I always like to start off with looking at my rollover. So today, so I have some rollover that is in my checking account from bills that came in less than I had budgeted for. And so I always kind of save that overage and put it into rollover to go into my sinking funds for the next paycheck. So, so there is some in my checking account as well, which we'll talk about when we look at the actual budget. But from my groceries and spending, I always do I typically have some cash rollover as well. So with that, I have $60 in 20s. So we're going to put that aside because we're just going to add that to the cash that I get from the teller, right? So we're going to kind of decrease what I'm asking for to account for those 20s. But then I have 2 5s and 3 singles. And so we're going to add those to my $1 and $5 savings challenges. And this savings challenge book, if you're new here, this is something that I created. I have it available in a paperback bound copy on Amazon. Obviously you would not get not for resale. This is my author copy. I also have it as a printable option on my Etsy shop. So all of that is linked below. And there's a lot of different challenges in here for all budgets. So, okay, so we're gonna fill in 3 of these. For the 3 singles I have. I hope everyone's having a good week. It is Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. Don't really have much planned, but that's okay. I enjoy a quiet weekend to just kind of rest and rejuvenate. So, all right, so we'll add bags are not the best quality. There we go. So we're going to add those 3 singles. And when this gets to 100, which will be a full page, I am going to put it towards a 52 envelope savings challenge. I'm also putting any cash back that I get from cashback apps towards that challenge. And then I'm going to need to take my change to the bank pretty soon because my container is getting pretty full. And my plan is that I will also put that towards this challenge. So I'm just letting the money kind of build up right now so that I'll stuff putting that money into the 52 envelopes, although it's not going to be all 52 by any means. But, you know, at least I want to wait until I have some significant money saved up to put into it. Otherwise, that would be a very, very boring video for you to watch. I'm only thinking of you. So, okay, I have 2 5s to add. With the 5s, I'll probably do that when I get to halfway because that'll be 250. So when I have finished this line, I'll probably put it in there because obviously I get, you know, only 1 or 2 5s typically each paycheck of rollover, so it's going to take a long time to get to 500, which is fine. There's no problem with that, but you know, if I wanted to start putting it into the other challenge, I could do that probably at $2.50. So, all right. So that is it for my $1 and $5 challenges. So now getting back over here. And also, if you're new here, this planner that I'm using is also available in my Etsy shop, as well as paperback bound options on Amazon. Okay, so in breaking down my income for this paycheck, so my paycheck was its normal $3,952. I do get paid twice a month. I am salaried, so my paycheck really doesn't change. So, and then I did have 143 rollover that includes this $60, right? So I had whatever 143 minus 60 is. I can't do the math right now. Okay, so that gives me a total income for this paycheck of $4,095. And so here are the bills that are being paid out of this paycheck. So this money stays in my checking account. I don't pull it out and stuff it. I leave it in my checking account and just the bills get paid from there. So I have $1,400 going to my mortgage. That does also include escrow for my property taxes and my insurance. So it encompasses all of that. I have $550 for my car payment, $95 for my car insurance, $270 going to my AC unit, which will be paid off next month. I'm very excited. $10 going to Spotify. $285 is making up the balance of my Chapter 13 bankruptcy payment. The bulk of it comes out of my first paycheck, but I do have a little bit that needs to come out of my second one. So there we go. $100 for gas. I do budget $100, which for 2 weeks. So I get 2 weeks out of each paycheck. And so I budget $100 in gas. I do work from home. I can't recall a time that I've actually spent all of that $100. So that almost always goes into rollover, but I'd rather have it, just in case. I have, $7 for Apple TV, $5 for Hulu, and then I have a little bit of a buffer in there. So what is staying in my checking account is $2,775, which means I'm going to be stuffing $1,320. And so if you go to my second page, here we have my spending kind of fixed funds. These get the same amount every paycheck. So $300 for groceries. I do budget $150 per week. $200 for spending. I budget $100 a week. $100 for my hair. I get my hair colored every 3 weeks. And so this all kind of goes into it. $50 for my emergency fund, $70 for health, and then $50 for extra week. I did have a question recently on what that's used for. So if you're new here, let me just briefly explain. So as I mentioned, I get paid twice a month, but I try and get 2 weeks out of each paycheck. There's about 4 weeks throughout the year that kind of don't fall into that schedule. So what I do is I budget $50 out of each paycheck because in those extra weeks, my bills are all paid for out of my 2 paychecks. Okay, so I don't need to worry about covering any bills. All I need to worry about is my groceries, my spending, and my gas. So that's $300 for 1 week. So this extra week fund funds those 4 times throughout the year that I need that extra $300. Okay, so that's what that is for. Okay, so my spending and kind of fixed funds equals $770, which will leave me $550 to put into my sinking funds. Now, the bulk of that is going into extra debt. I mentioned in my last video, I think, I realized that I shouldn't have been paying that extra directly to the AC unit, because if I pay this off before July, I will save 30%. So it makes more sense actually to not pay as like just pay the minimum and then keep any extra aside, because then that 30% savings will be bigger, if that makes sense. So instead of paying this 360 directly to the AC unit, I'm pulling it out and I'm just making that my normal payment. But this is going to be, I think I have 100-ish already in my extra debt. So that's going to be added to that. And like I said, next month, factoring in the additional money I'll be able to put towards it, my regular payment, and that 30% discount, I am 100% confident that I'll be able to pay it off next month. So my plan is after my first paycheck, because I think I need to request a payoff quote from them. And I think that payoff quote, I think it only is good for a couple of weeks, and then you have to request another one. So what I think I'm going to do is after my first paycheck, I'll request that payoff quote, because then I'll know exactly, based on what I have in extra debt and then what I will have from that paycheck, will I be able to pay that off. So that is my plan. Okay, and then outside of that, most of my priority one funds are getting $15 each, with my subscriptions getting $20. And then all of my priority three, so these are priority one and priority two funds. They're getting $15 each. And then my priority three are all getting $5 each. So that is the plan. All right, so we're gonna now break down the denominations that I need for all of these funds so that I ask for the right amounts when I go to the bank. So groceries, I always do 2 100s and 2 50s. Spending is all 20s, so that's gonna be 10. Hair, so this I'm gonna do 2 5s, so that's 10, 3 10s. Wait, let me see if I get this right. Okay, 150, 2 10s, and a 20. So 50, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yep. Okay, emergency, that's just going to be a 50. Health will be a 50 and a 20. Extra week will be a 50. Okay, extra debt, I'm going to do 3 100s, a 50, and a 10. All these 15, 10, and a 5. Oops. 20 here. Okay, 10 and a 5. And now we're in the 5, so just right there. Okay, so let me total these up real quick. Okay, so hundreds, I have 5 of those. 50s, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 20s, I have 10, 11, 12, 13. 10s, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 5s, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I'm just going to circle this. These totals. Actually, when it's handwritten, the lasso needs to really encompass all of it to work. Okay, paste that here. And then I have 4 more 5s here, so whoops. Okay, and so I'm going to erase the 14 here and add 4 to that. So it's going to be 18 fives. Okay, let me just total this up real quick because the total I'm trying to get to is 1320. Okay, so we obviously have 5 hundreds, 7 times 50, because I can't really think right now, 350 and 50s, 260 and 20s, 120 and 10s, and then 90 and 5s. So let's add this up. 500 plus 350 plus 260 plus 120 plus 90 is 1320, okay? But then I have 3 20s, so I'm going to reduce my 20s to 10, which is 200, okay? And so that's what I'm going to ask for from the bank, and then add these 20s to that. So I'll still wind up with 1320. So now I'm just going to transfer this to this cash breakdown slip. These are also available in my Etsy shop. So 5 100s, 7 50s, 10 20s, 12 10s, and 18 5s. And so this should be 1260 total. So 500 plus 350 plus 200 plus 120 plus 90. Yep. 1,260. So that is what I'm going to withdraw. Add these 20s to it, and that'll be my 1322 stuff. All right, so that does it for today's video. Next up will be the stuffing of this paycheck. So that'll come at you next. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.